Alright, what you see here is a Hampton-made Rockport ceiling fan. It's a 42-inch hugger ceiling fan that Hampton Bay sold back in the 90s. These are pretty uncommon fans, and they're pretty childhood for me as well. I want to say that they're rare, the Rockport model from the 90s, but they're not that common. However, this one is definitely a rare version of it, as this is in the very unseen gunmetal finish. Now, a lot of people never even heard of gunmetal and such. It honestly looks like black, but it's more like a chrome with a black tint to it. And honestly, I love this fan. I really like how it looks. It has reversible blades from black to what appears to be walnut or rosewood. I think it's walnut, but I could be mistaken. But yeah, I feel like it would have, if it was rosewood, it'd be a little bit more red, but it could be. But yeah, the fan's from April of 1996, so it's a few months older than I am, as I was born in October of 1996. There's not really any documentation out there of these being gunmetal. So, like, obviously we have a physical proof right here, but in terms of how long they were sold for, I'm not too sure. I'm not sure if these were like a special order exclusive or like a limited type exclusive where it was only sold for like a few months. But yeah, I remember seeing a lot of huggers that looked similar to these or just like them as a kid. There was the white and brass one I filmed on like 10 years ago at my cousin's house, which is a childhood one that I remember seeing as a kid. And it was the exact version of this, the same manufacturer, I'm pretty sure, is this. The only difference is that the Hampton Bay logo was not on the switch housing like this one with the sticker. It was actually on the motor housing instead on the top with the Hampton Bay badge instead of it being a sticker. But other than that, it's the same fan. I got this from Aaron Tarska about a year ago. It was known on YouTube as Vinyl Fan, but he does not do any more videos. But yeah, he found this at a thrift store and messaged me asking if I wanted it, and obviously I did, because I have it. And also, from what I know, nobody has ever seen these or heard of these being in this finish. So the fact that something unheard of has shown up, I was like, I need to get it. And it's also my first gunmetal ceiling fan. There's really not too many ceiling fans out there in this finish. So finding one in this finish in general, regardless of the model, is pretty hard to do. There is a ceiling fan that I do know that they make right now, the Home Depot Hugger. And supposedly, I guess I just realized after filming the video of it with the black blades, is that they have the Hugger 2 now. More updated look of the original Hampton Bay Hugger. So that one's not discontinued. They do have a new one online, so at some point it might replace it in stores. But that one also does come in gunmetal as well, which is nice to see, because gunmetal really doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. It's definitely an underrated finish. It's a finish that I feel will do really well with today's market, as a lot of people are doing a black and gray look in their homes, which I actually like. A lot of people in the community are against the new fashion trends. I actually like them. Hence why I repainted the living room to look a bit more updated. They definitely can work with a lot of older looking furniture, if need be. Yeah, I'm not sure if I like it better with this wave finish or the other side. If it was plain black, I'd like this side better, but since it's gunmetal, I'm actually not too sure. But it looks good regardless. Yeah, I'm using a daylight LED bulb in there just because I feel like it goes better with the fan finish. But yeah, there's the sticker. Go ahead and show the light. Yeah, I feel like I really don't think it's Rosewood, because from what I remember, these are like not like relabeled Encon Corinthians back when they first came out. before they started making air-cooled versions and SMC versions. But from what I can remember, Encon's Rosewood was a bit more reddish than this. I could be mistaken. Maybe it was like this during the time period. But I do know this specific fan is made by Will Housewares, from what I've been told. But it actually could be Encon too, because it definitely has quite a bit of Encon characteristics to it. So, yeah. I mean, the build quality honestly feels a lot like Encon's. So, let me do a lighting test. Does a good job lighting wise for it just being a 60-watt bulb. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and start off on the low speed. I'm thinking I might like it better in this finish combo, just because of the contrast, but I really do like it with the black side as well. If I was going to start with, I'd probably do this side because the black has a few scuffs across the blade finishes, and I'd rather not repaint it. The only other fans I know of that came in this finish are the Hunter Infinity back in 1991. That was the only year they sold it in that finish. Emerson Designers, or I think it's the North one, one of the two. I think pretty sure it was the Designer back in the 90s, but it might have been North ones as well at that point. I'm trying to think of what else. There's really not that many fans out there that are in gunmetal, unfortunately. A lot of people definitely appreciate more like chrome finishes. I know it's in the community, or copper finishes, but to me, gunmetal is the coolest finish. I love like the polished finishes out there. I mean, I do like polished brass, chrome, and the copper finishes, but it's just the black look on this is just really neat looking to me, and it's just also more of my style. And it's also not something that you see every day too. I mean, copper fans and chrome stuff, you don't really see that all the time either, but color-wise, you do see a lot more furniture with that look anyways, whereas something with this type of finish, you don't see that often in general, so that's why I like this finish more. Like, even with lamps, you see copper-ish lamps more, and brass lamps, chrome lamps, but you don't really see, like, lamps in this finish too often. I'm not sure if the Encon version ever came in this finish. It honestly wouldn't surprise me, but I'm not 100% sure. I do know that the earlier versions of the Encon Caribbean and the Hampton Bay Rockport looked more like the Littleton in terms of the motor housing, and then they switched to how you see it here. Yeah, for this specific fan, I feel like I like this finish combo better than the gunmetal with the black blades. If it was a different fan, in terms of like the appearance. I feel like I'd like it better the other way around, but with this fan, I just feel like in terms of it having the sleek look, I feel like the sleek look doesn't work too well with this fan. With the all black blades on it. If it was like an Infinity or something, I feel like I'd like the black blades on it more. But even then, I do like the Infinity a lot with Rosewood blades, so that'd be a tough call. I feel like the black oak looking blades that they do for certain fans nowadays, I think would look really nice on this. Like they have like on outdoor fans, for an example. Yeah, it's moving a good breeze on this speed. The one thing I really can't get over is how quiet this fan is. It doesn't have like any humming noise to it, no vibration sound from it, or buzzing. It's literally like the quietest Hugger fan I think I've tested down here. Except for like maybe like the Hunter Low profiles and such, but like those are also quiet ones I've tested, but this one's very quiet as well too. Out of all the Hampton Bay Huggers down here, I'm pretty sure this is the quietest one I've tested. Alright, now for medium. I can definitely say that it is quieter in all of the fans I have installed upstairs. The Hunter Infinity in the living room, the Hunter Low Profile Plus in the kitchen, the Hunter Bathroom Dressing Room, the Casablanca Pan number 2, and the Hampton Bay Minuet 2 in the closet. I mean, Infinity living room, it's not that it's a loud fan, it's just it has a little bit of a hum to it. It also has a tiny bit of bearing noise to it. The Low Profile Plus in the kitchen hums a bit. The Hunter Bathroom Dressing Room in the bathroom hums a bit, and it also has bearing noise. And then the pan number 2 the Casablanca pan number 2 in my bedroom, that one just has a tiny bit of a hum to it, but it's nothing major. But it's silent on the low speed, and medium speed it's pretty quiet as well. So it's not like an obnoxious hum, but yeah. And the Minuet 2 is pretty quiet, but does have a tiny bit of a hum to it as well. The fact that this fan, which I expected to be a noisy fan, is silent is honestly very surprising. And it moves good air too for what it is. So yeah, let me go ahead and show off the light. This is a fan that I'd love to install. Unfortunately, with it being so rare, I'd not want to risk it getting damaged, scratched, or anything like that. The only room I can see myself installing it in is like an office where it's kind of like a room that I'd only use. Like it would definitely want to be in the bedroom, it wouldn't be in the kitchen, it wouldn't be in the living room. Those are 3 rooms that it would get used quite a bit. And also in those 3 rooms I'd want something stronger, but the kitchen especially I wouldn't put it in because it would not do well there. in terms of it looking pristine. And for its age, I gotta say the fan's actually in pretty good shape, especially in a finish that you don't see often. It's like a polished finish. It's really not that scuffed up at all. Has a few scratches here and there on the top of the housing and on the blade arms, but other than that, the rest of it's pristine. Now they do have the Rockport 52-inch fan on the down rod being sold. It's not really related to this one, but it's actually not really, that one's not really the Rockport 2. Technically, it's actually the fourth one, because supposedly there was Rockport 3 that looked basically like a Cameron 2, but it had a 3 integrated light on it. As to what the Rockport 2 looked like, I'm not 100% sure, but there was actually already a Rockport 3 sold like in the early 2000s from what I've seen, in terms of like box art. I've seen like the actual box art for it, and it was like from the early 2000s period. But yeah, at some point I do plan to like do like a slideshow of like uncommon Hampton Bay fans, uncommon hunters, just for like the ones that people don't really know about or barely know about, just to give those fans more recognition or publicity, I guess, just so people realize what they are and that they're uncommon, so people see them out in the wild, just so they know that they actually are not a common model and such. Alright, and now to move it up to the high speed. It was a good breeze on the high speed. It's nothing crazy, but for what it is, it does a lot better than you'd expect it to. Like, it's basically like on par like for the low profiles or to make air mesas. Like, it's not like Littleton performance, surprisingly. Now, these fans were basically sold back then as like the alternative to Littleton, where it was a budget model, but it was more appealing to look at in terms of like the design. Like, it was a bit more elegant looking. It wasn't so plain looking like the Littleton is. I feel like that's kind of like what they've done now with like the Middleton or the Keynes and the Keensaw, and the other one that I forget what it's called, but it's the one that's in bronze, but it has like that dome-shaped looking globe. But those are like other alternatives, like for something that's budget friendly, but it's not an exact copy of the Littleton like this one is for the most part. But yeah, those fans, people can hate them all they want, but I feel like they are good options for budget friendly, like people who are on a tight budget. At least they have like more design looks to it, not something that looks just like the Littleton, just a different glass and housing like this one is. I mean, not to say that this one's not appealing, but compared to those ones that are offered today, this one definitely looks more dated, I can definitely say, whereas those ones don't. I mean, even the Littleton doesn't look as dated. I mean, this looks even more dated than Littleton, so yeah. close, you can hear the air movement. Alright, not to show it the white. Yeah, it's definitely a nice looking fan. It's a shame that this finish really doesn't get that much appreciation. Problem is that you don't really see too many fans in this finish to begin with that are offered in this finish. So I feel like that's what really doesn't help with it getting the recognition. But I have seen on the Home Depot website that the hugger that they sell, I've seen reviews of the gunmetal one, with people showing that they've bought it, like, and have it installed, like with pictures of it. So it's nice to see that there are quite a bit amount of people that are buying it in that finish. I think that the finish has been around for 30 years, though, and in a way, it's still in fashion as it is still being sold in that finish and such. But yeah. Alright, now shut it off and do spin down. Then to show it on reverse. That's a pretty decent spin down for what it is. It's not a super long spin down, but it's also not a super short one either. Yeah, I definitely would love to find like documentation or a picture of it new in a box, just so kind of like get an accurate description of this blade finish. Who knows? Maybe one day it'll surface, like maybe like in a newspaper or ad or something. like the early to mid 90s, a lot of the Hampton Bay models are kind of unknown, as there's not that much documentation out there. Unfortunately, that's been discovered. So unfortunately, a lot of that's kind of like in a lost void of some sort. So yeah, let's go ahead and start off on reverse flow. And the thing is that Home Depot never, there were times that they would not include certain fans, like on catalogs and such, so a lot of them, you wouldn't, they only have like certain models in the catalog, and I think it was more likely they're more popular selling ones and such. Or maybe it was more so ones that were like sold in auto stores than the ones that were exclusive to like certain regions and such were not included in the Home Depot catalogs and such. Right now, short or medium. Now, having this fan kind of gives me an idea of getting a Littleton, painting it black, and just using these blades on it, just to see how, just to kind of make it a custom Littleton. Again, I'd only be using the blades from this to use on it. I'm pretty sure these blades should fit the SMC style blade arms. Because I know a while back I did paint a custom rainbow Littleton, which I still have, but I painted that back white. But I'm thinking I actually might repaint that one back at some point in the future, since I'm better at painting now. But I might try to do something different for the blades, as those didn't, or what really didn't come out too well. Alright, now for high. Probably the last fan I'm testing out for 2023. I do have other fans that have lined up for testing, but or have tested, but I'd rather leave those for next year, because there's quite a bit that I've already been filming, but this is one that I know a lot of people want to see, since it's such a rare fan. But there are many more fans I have yet to reveal, like 50 plus, almost 75, if not 100 more that I still have yet to reveal from over the years that I have been getting them. So do not worry, there is plenty that I still need to reveal and test going into next year. But this is going to be the last fan test I do down here that you guys are seeing for the 2023. But there's definitely more to be tested next year, so do not worry. So I figured this also would be a great one to finish the year off with. And there wasn't too many of them tested this year as I wanted. as there was just a lot of busy stuff going on. But since the schedule is freed up a bit more, and I'm able to work around certain time frames and find a new schedule to test, I'm able to get back to it. So yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.